Grace and peace, grace and peace, grace and peace. This is Rev C saying good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this video. Um, I just want to do a quick, another pop up live of encouragement to encourage all of us during certain times. Uh, you know, could be uncertain. No matter what you're going through, I pray that this quick little video will bless you, will encourage you. You see the title. I ain't never scared. I ain't never scared. Poor English, but great theology. And we're going to look at a passage in Hebrews 13. Hebrews 13, um, just verses 5 and 6. And then we'll jump to two Old Testament passages and we'll be out of your way. But I wanted to show you this text. And when you look at Hebrews 13, it breaks into two portions. Verses 1 through 7, we see Christ as Lord. 1 through 7, he's Christ as Lord. And then 8 through 25, he's Christ, our great shepherd. So 8 through 25, he's great. He is Christ, our great shepherd. And in verses 1 through 7, he is Christ, our Lord, or the Lord. And so Hebrews 13, the first couple of verses can seem like just different things thrown in there, and it's like, what is going on? What are all of these, brotherly love and don't entertaining angels in prison, and the marriage bed is supposed to be undefiled, but he is showing how, again, reading things in context is vitally important. And so he is showing how to live this Christian life. He is showing how to live in community, Christian community, and in the kingdom. And so he's showing how to live as a body. As a body, how do we live together? And so in verses 1 through 3, let brotherly love continue. Let brotherly love continue. And we know that Greek word for brotherly love is Philadelphia, phileo. It's a different type of love. It's a brotherly affection, brotherly friendship. It's the love of deep friendship and partnership. So there should always be this kind of love among Christians, among believers, and it should continue, not just a one-time thing. Your life, if you go to 1 John, your life, the Christian life, should be marked. It should be smothered. It should be saturated in love. And then he goes on to say, don't forget to entertain strangers. And so this is a practical way to show this brotherly love among believers, because hospitality is very important in the New Testament and in the Old Testament, but especially New Testament culture in the ancient world. There were no hotels, no motels, no Holiday Inns. And so it was notorious for immorality if there happened to be an inn. It was notorious for that. And so traveling Christians would look for open homes of other Christians to bring them into. And so because of this command of hospitality, Christians had to watch out for people just masquerading as Christians. So, just so they could leech off of someone. So you had to recognize deceivers. But then he says, strangers. The point was that you are to show this love, this hospitality to strangers. Christians who are strangers to us. So if you invite your best friend over for lunch, that doesn't fulfill this command because they're not a stranger to you. And so this Greek word for hospitality here, and used in Romans 12, is a love for strangers. So brotherly love means that you have a love for all your brothers and sisters in Christ, not just the ones who are currently your friends. So maybe someone needs to hear that yes, you should show love to people who are your friends but to fulfill this command, you have to step outside of your comfort zone. So now we move on. Then he goes on into what we're about to get into our passage, where he says, keep your life free from the love of money, from this greed, this love of silver. Be satisfied, archeo, be satisfied with what you have. It's a continual satisfaction. Be satisfied in what you have, for he himself has said, for Christ has said, God, I will never leave you nor forsake you or abandon you. Contentment. We are satisfied because of who we have. Now, this is very, very important because you don't really see this brought out in the English translations. It says, I will never leave you or abandon you. But when you go over here to the Greek text, it's very important because the Greek brings out something that you don't see, the force of it here. So in the Greek, it says, "U me se ano, ude, u me se kata lapao." As you notice here, the first two words, these are Greek negatives. And in English, we know a negative plus a negative cancels it out. So in English, if you say, I don't have no pencils, or I ain't got no pencils, you can say, you have a pencil. But in Greek, two negatives together is a strong emphasis. And so this combination here, ume, is the strongest Greek negation formula that you can use. So ume, never, ever, never, ever will I anao. I will never loosen my grip on you. Don't miss that. I will never loosen my grip on you. I will never let you go. Ever, ever. It will never come into possibility. The thought will never come into his mind to loosen his grip on you. Like you loosen your belt. He will never loosen you. Then here's three more. Ude, u, me. And then English translations will say, or abandon you. But the Greek, I will never, ever, ever at any time, never at any time will I katalapao. I will never forsaken you. I will never abandon you. We can be content with what we have. And then if the context of these first century Christians in Hebrews 13, they're faced with losing their property, their homes, everything they have. They're getting run out of town. And the writer says, you can be satisfied. You can be content with what you have because of who you have. You can also be content, and this is a preaching moment. Don't if I had an organ, you can be content with what you have because of who you have and who has you. God has you. He will never loosen his grip on you, and he will never, ever forsaken, abandon, neglect you. Now, if we look at this word here deeper in the Greek, kata lapao. And we notice here, we see, this is the BDAG. This is the Greek lexicon in the BDAG. This is the top Greek lexicon. It's more robust. It goes throughout the different writings of the first century and things like that. So notice, if you scroll down, you see that our passage, Hebrews 13:5, is definition 2. Definition 2 says to separate connection with someone or something, forsake, abandon, desert. So God will never separate his connection from you. He will never forsake you, abandon you, neglect you, desert you. Never, ever will he do this. Never, ever. So we go back to the text. Then we go to verse 6. Verse 6. He says, therefore, we can boldly say, the Lord, kurios emu bontas. The Lord is our helper. He is my helper. And I will not be afraid. Or whom shall I be afraid? For what can man or what can the mortal do to me? That's security in there. God will never leave you in dire straits. God will never leave you in dire straits. And so here, the writer is quoting. Let's go back here. Give me a second. Let's go here. And he's quoting from Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy, this is our first Old Testament passage we're going to go to, and then we'll get out of your hair. One more. He says, be strong and courageous. Don't be terrified of them. For the Lord your God is the one who will go with you. He's with us. I don't know who needs to hear this today, no matter what you're going through. Hey, grace and peace. Shalom, Brother Red Letter and Sister Judah Rise. Man, I've missed you guys. Love you guys. Blessings. Praying for you guys. Hope everything is going good. Go ahead and hit the like button, share, subscribe. I thank you guys for joining this quick little encouragement live. If you want to be a blessing, you can drop $1 or so into the Cash App. It's scrolling across. It's in the chat. And then the PayPal. There as well. So the PayPal, Cash App there as well, if the Lord lays it on your heart to support. And then my daughter, firstborn daughter, will be turning 9 on Saturday, April 1st. April Fool's Day is her birthday. So she'll be turning 9. So pray for me, saints. Pray for me. But we go to Deuteronomy, and we see here that no matter what you're facing today, great, big, small, economic, relationship, anything, we're commanded, be strong, be courageous, don't lose heart. For the Lord your God, Yahweh, the self-existent one, is the one who will go with you. There's that presence. He will not leave you nor abandon you. This is where the writer of Hebrews pulls that from. And then you scroll down to verse 8. The Lord is the one who will go before you. So not only is he with you, he's before you. He will not leave you or abandon you. Do not be afraid or discouraged. And then the writer draws from Psalm 118. Psalm 118, very powerful psalm. You can just check it out on your own. Read through it. Psalm 118. It says, give thanks, yada. Give thanks to the Lord. Why? For he is good. That's enough reason right there. You don't need another reason. That's enough. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His hesed endures forever. Let Israel say, his faithful love endures forever. Let the house of Aaron say, his faithful love endures forever. Let those who fear the Lord say, his faithful love endures forever. Notice what he does there. He gives the command. This is not even in my notes. He gives the command, give thanks to the Lord. Then he says, Israel, give thanks. Aaron, house of Aaron, give thanks. And if you're not a part of those, don't worry. Those who fear the Lord, that's us. Those are believers. Those who fear, who reverence, who yara, who fears, reverence the Lord, has proper respect. You can say his faithful love endures forever. Why can you say this? The psalmist goes on to tell you. I'll tell you, this is a great psalm. You read this psalm, all 29 verses. Well, bless you. He says, I called to the Lord in my distress. The Lord answered me. The Lord is for me. I will not be afraid. So here is where we get the passage in Hebrews 13:6. The Lord is for me. I will not be afraid. What can a mere mortal do to me? The Lord is my helper. Therefore, I will look in triumph to those who hate me. It is better to take refuge, shelter in the Lord than to trust in humanity or mere mortal. Same Hebrew word. It is better to take shelter in the Lord than to trust mortals. It is better to trust in the Lord than mere mortals. So you can have the best food, the best cars, the best job, but it is better to trust in Yahweh than a mere man. So again, let me read Hebrews 13 for us, and I'm going to get out of your way. Hebrews 13, 5 and 6. Take this with you. Keep your life free from the love of money. Be satisfied with what you have and who has you. For he himself has said, I will never lose my grip on you or abandon you. I will never forsake you, desert you. Therefore, we can boldly say, the Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can man do to me? Let this bless you. Share this quick video with someone who needs encouragement. This is Rev C. I'm praying for you guys. I love you. Be looking out for more videos. God bless you.